But I mean, we started Mindshift for several reasons. A number of people felt they were getting together and talking about the same things, which were related to how valuable their services were or their products were, what the quality of their results were, their frustrations about the process that they were forced to work within when they knew better and they had other ideas that they could never really bring to the table. And after months and months and such of that kind of dialogue becoming a consistent factor, they decided that maybe we could network better and more effectively and take some of these issues and try and do something about them. And so Rex Miller was one of the founding members, a couple of folks from Gensler in Houston, Marlon Archer and Dean Stronbaum. They contacted me, we got together within Hayworth, and Mabel Casey, who was our VP of Marketing, really saw an opportunity for us to help seed something that would create a new way of looking at our business, our way we participate, the way we work together, and potentially really try and break down some of the walls and repair some of the issues that could restore some of the value to the end result for our clients and hopefully consequently for our businesses too. From the taxation perspective, and the benefits are probably more readily available under the US tax laws than within Canada, but I believe they do exist from a Canadian perspective to some degree. The idea of cost segregation as a methodology of depreciating some building assets over shorter periods than others or faster declining balances than others. There are the obvious components that are utilized. Furniture is a different declining balance approach than core and shell, etc., etc. But the idea that KPMG's group within in Houston, their construction tax planning group, is that if you can understand the implication of the way you design a component and the way it's integrated into the building, how it's attached, its relationship to other components of the building, and if you are able to design it a certain way and identify it in the documentation so it's auditable, you can potentially increase the proportion of a building that could be depreciated over an accelerated period of time. Rather than just look at an after exercise, which is really an Excel spreadsheet where things are moved from one column to another, and it still generates some value. Imagine if an extra 20 or 30% maybe of the building could be moved into a faster declining tax benefit merely by thinking differently about the way it's designed and incorporated. And that's really what the KPMG tax planning arm of our Mindshift group has really brought to the table. Really, what you're doing, if you looked at the progress on a project as a horizontal line of time from conception to move in and beyond, really what integrated design and what the idea of the Mindshift collaborative model is doing is it's moving quite a lot of activities, design, development, planning and everything. It's moving a lot of these from right to left. And you're front end loading a lot of the activities and the projects, even the fees and the money that might be spent that would be distributed over a longer period of time as being front end loaded on a right to left model. But the benefit of doing that is it pulls so much intelligence into the decision making, because your opportunity to affect the outcome of a project is much higher the earlier you're involved. And if you bring more of that in early and front end load and then cross connect all the different skill sets and knowledge elements that are at the table, you really make more intelligent decisions and more holistic decisions, and you can link many aspects. Which then means, because of that, the execution and delivery process is so much more streamlined. Everybody involved already knows each other and has a working relationship. They're not meeting the next person every week and having to try and find out how to work together. They're all striving to a common goal. They're all rewarded the same way. They're all transparent, so nobody can play any games. They drop their guard, and now they can concentrate on what they're passionate about. Roofers are passionate about roofing. It's not glamorous, but they are passionate. Mechanical contractors, electricians, architects are passionate about design. Contractors are passionate about building. They can concentrate on why they got into the business rather than stepping around the minefield and the politics, which really, can take away from the quality of what they do. And then really, the end result, to focus on the net cost to the client. And when you make a decision around design, let's say, for instance, a different light fixture is considered that's more energy efficient but is 3 times the cost of a more basic fixture. At the end of the day, the cost of the line item may be more, but if it reduces the heat loads of the building, which allows to downsize the HVAC cooling load and the chillers, and will reduce consequently the amount of utilities used, if its quality of light is better for ergonomics and screen glare and eye strain and other issues in the space, its net effect to the client is 0 or less. If a LEED building costs $1 a square foot more to rent and costs $1 a square foot less to operate because it's more energy efficient, then the net cost to the tenant is the same. But unless they take that viewpoint, the line item mentality will say that light fixture is cheaper, so I'm going to make that decision today, and in doing so I'll forget that that has repercussions downstream that will cost me more probably than what I'd be spending.